Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Cupcake coming at you with another. Today we're doing first in something we'll do start doing weekly. It's called Marvel Monday. Um, you got a case of Mondays? Hey, tune into this. Hey, we'll make your Monday marvelous. Pun intended. Yes, I know it's the most cheesy pun ever. Okay, live with it, please. But today we're just chatting about the MCU. If you didn't know, I know there's a lot of people that have either just in the past just tuned into my channel for either uh, Madden or Fortnite. I am a huge Marvels fan, like huge. Okay, I'm a nerd at heart. Okay, absolute nerd. Ultimately, oh man, like wow. I can't say how big of a nerd I am. Like comic books every single week. I have a back in the late 1960s, I believe, comic book. Back when Iron Man and Captain America used to share one. I'm a nerd, okay? I am an absolute nerd, so I've loved the MCU. I personally love talking about it. And so today I'm just gonna in this little video here, we're just gonna be talking about kind of my thoughts in the MCU right now with all the news that happened this weekend. Like, if you've not heard yet, with all the news, we have a whole bunch of new Disney Plus shows announced. We had posters, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk about the Disney Plus shows and Spider-Man today with the new Spider-Man. Whatever's going on with that, it's kind of weird, really confusing with Spider-Man right now with all the negotiation problems that Disney and Sony are having right now, honestly. So it's kind of weird because you're trying to talk about this thing, but ultimately no one really knows what's going on right now. Like it's not even a joke when I say that too. Like really no one knows what's going on with that because it's super weird right now because of well the negotiations and all that kind of stuff is just seem to hit a halt. So I guess I'll lead that into my first thing we're going to talk about, which is going to have to be the Marvel Sony deal going wrong, I guess. Like I know this news is a little late, but um, yeah, we're just gonna have to talk about it here. Like, what happened? Like, honestly, what happened? Because I'm like, really? What happened? This came out of the blue, out of the middle of nowhere. Everything was looking fine. Everything was looking good. Like, I could not wait for the next Spider-Man film because it was looking pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that film was looking great. Like, okay, you had that amazing cliffhanger. You had the Skrulls impersonating Nick Fury. Like, and now with all what's going on now, you're kind of wondering what's happening now. That's honestly what everyone's wondering is what happens now for both the MCU and Sony if they do decide to go ahead and do their own separate thing when it comes to that. Like, I would love to see Spider-Man in the MCU. I'm not joking when I say this. I love Spider-Man. Like my dad one time he picked up the first issue that Gwen Stacy was in the comics. So the first time. So to say I'm not a Spider-Man fan is an understatement. I love Spider-Man comics. Oh man, Spider-Man he's such a classic character, really good. And it's kind of sad seeing this because you just have it from both sides. Both sides want him because Spider-Man is ultimately probably the most popular work of Stanley, I would say. If you're going by popularity, everyone loves Spider-Man. Although Tony Stark and Iron Man and people like that are popular, none of them equal to the popularity of Spider-Man, ultimately. Like, Spider-Man is just the MCU's everything right now, and they left everything on the table when it came to Spider-Man. Like, honestly, they put all the cards on the line and everything for it. So now with the new Sony and Marvel problems, this kind of sucks because it's just as comic book fans, you have to hate this because it's they had something really good going in the MCU. You can understand where Sony's coming from, but Sony didn't just make $1 billion for Spider-Man, or they did make it. I think. I don't know what the exact money that they or exact profits from Sony what they made, but like the movie just made over $1 billion, and you're taking it away from Feige and all that now. I'm not saying that Spider-Man would suck without um, Feige and the rest of the MCU. I'm just saying it wouldn't be as good, like, or it would have made half as much as it did in the box office if it wasn't tied into the MCU. Like, I really enjoy Spider-Man, and once again, I will say this, but like, they're Sony's kind of being stupid right now because like, okay, unless they plan on like starting their own Spider-Man universe again, like, it's kind of like, how are they going to do this now? Because really, like, it's kind of weird because it's like, unless you restart, like, because of the current contract stuff, like, okay, you can't let them have the MCU properties in there, but now if you don't let them have the MCU properties, Spider-Man 3 is going to kind of be all um, weird. And then you have the current MCU problems where they have a lot of stuff happen in Spider-Man Far From Home. And so it's a really weird situation. It really just sucks as a comic book fan, and like, you don't want to see this. Like, you ultimately don't. Like, as a comic book fan, once again, it sucks because it's like you love these characters, and it's just that business is ultimately making it where stuff we enjoy ultimately is getting dragged down. Like, even though we understand that it is business and all that, like, it does suck because as comic book fans, we don't want to see this happen to Spider-Man. We want to see Spider-Man in one way or another, at least. Like, Spider-Man's a great character. I will say I'd rather see it in the hands of the MCU personally, just because I feel like I have personally enjoyed these last two Spider-Man films more than I have the Amazing Spider-Man or the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I haven't watched all of the Tobey Maguire, so maybe that's not my right to say. Like, I just okay, when they were coming out, I was just bored, so let's go ahead and let's just say that. So don't judge. I just haven't. I'm not a movie. I don't watch many movies. Like, I watch the MCU when they come out, but that's about it. I don't watch movies often. They're few and far in between for me. So yeah, I hope that whatever happens with this, ultimately, I just hope the story for the MCU and Sony doesn't get botched up. Like, because honestly, it kind of sucks once again because it's just there's this great potential for this, and then it's getting ruined because of business. Ultimately, it kind of once again just sucks. But let's get off of Spider-Man's back here. Like, right now, there's not much we can say about it. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen ultimately with it. Like, it's hard to tell. Like, we'll just have to wait for more information to come out. But let's talk about Disney Plus shows now. Like, what they announced this weekend, like at D23. Oh man, D23 was packed. Like, they announced some Disney Plus Star Wars shows. They did like, yeah, it is packed. Like, Disney Plus, oh my gosh. Honestly, with the price of it, like, you Disney Plus might take down Netflix for streaming services just because of all that's coming out. Like, I'm not even going to say this. Like, if you look at it here, okay, they already had a nice setup. Like, you had WandaVision, you had Winter Soldier, you had the trying to remember all the shows that they had announced. I'm blanking on them here. You had the Winter Soldier, you had Loki, you had so many different shows already. I'm missing one, I know. What if I'm trying to remember the last one here. I'm going brain dumb on it, but you know what I'm talking about here. I got one more show I'm forgetting about, and then you just add on top of all of that, you just added now, okay, Moon Knight. Okay, I personally have not done too much Moon Knight reading. I know about the character though. It's gonna be nice to see him in the MCU, or I don't know. I know it's gonna be a part of the MCU, but can we really call him a part of the MCU yet? Like, can we? Like, I don't know. Like, Mark Spector. It's gonna be a nice movie, or movie. I mean, TV show. Like, don't get me wrong when I say this. Like, especially when I say, well, considering we don't have too much Marvel TV right now, like with Agents of Shield about to end, all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be really nice to have him in there. I just hope they do it right. Once again, like it's really nice to see that some of these smaller characters, though, that maybe aren't the most popular, are starting to get shows, and that we have to have someone to take the roles that Spider-Man once had, or not Spider-Man, but like Tony Stark and the big time MCU characters had for us. Since it's really hard because of the fact that, well, now Tony's gone. Like it's really hard ultimately because you are starting to lose some of your mainstream characters like Tony. You're losing Captain America, a few others like that. But ultimately, it's gonna be hard. Like watch it go on. Like that's like you knew they were gonna do good through Infinity War and Endgame, but no one really knew what's going to happen after Phase 4. Like everyone had their hopes and all that kind of stuff, but we didn't know how it was going to go and how fans would take it and everything. Like once some of our favorite characters start going away, like I'm definitely not saying that Tony Stark is gone forever. Like okay, there's ways to add people back. I just like if you want to say that Tony Stark was a doppelganger or something from a different universe, you could do that, but I don't think you really want to. But like this isn't Flash or something like that. Like I just don't think that's really necessary. But yeah. Also, you've got the factor of now, like it's hard. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the MCU over the next few years after all what's happened up to recent. Then, of course, the new phase, like everything they've done to this point, or to this moment right now, was done for the Infinity Saga, and now they're having to develop something completely new. And so we'll have to see. I'm excited though. I will say there's no reason not to be excited. Like it looks pretty darn good right now. If you're just having to judge from what they've done so far. But next up, of course, like we have Moon Knight. That's going to be pretty cool. Probably the show I'm most hyped for because I'm like, it's Moon Knight. Okay, pretty nice. I've done some research a little bit on him. I'll let y'all do that and all that kind of stuff. But I've done a little research on him. Like I've read, once again, I don't know a lot about the Moon Knight, but I know just a little, enough to give me a little idea of what his character is going to be like. It's going to be really cool, different, all that kind of stuff. I remember Moon Knight, the Spider-Man. I, gosh, I feel like right now you couldn't handle your own failure. I swear that leads you back to me with talking about Spider-Man right now. Like I remember they had like a Spider-Man slash Moon Knight warp in the Infinity Warp comics. So yeah, I'm like I know a little bit because of that, but honestly, otherwise for that, I've not done much reading about Moon Knight so far. But it is going to be nice to see him. Next up, of course, we do got Miss Marvel. What these next two shows, I'm thankful for them. I think they're going to be good. I just don't know if I was quite. We'll just say they weren't quite high on my to-do list right now. Like they weren't necessary, in my opinion. Like they weren't something that was needed in it. Like it's gonna be nice. Don't get me wrong, and I hope they're done well. But ultimately, can you say that of all Marvel characters that you want these two, like they're both good characters. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that I wasn't. If they would kept the same stuff, like Winter Soldier, um, Low Key. I'm trying to remember the other one. Uh, try to think here in my head here. What if WandaVision, all that kind of stuff? Like I would have been okay. I'm telling you that now. Like none of these other two shows, like although I'm gonna enjoy them, I'm gonna watch them. Okay, I'm telling you now, I'm watching them. Okay, I'm not trying to build hype for this. I'm just saying these weren't my two ones that I was really really looking forward to having. Like they're gonna be nice to have, but these weren't the two that I was like, oh my god, yes, let's go. Like it's gonna be nice though. Like I'm not saying I'm not gonna enjoy the shows. I'm just saying that ultimately there would have been other characters I would have had. But ultimately, we have to get ready to move on. We gotta get some new characters in the MCU. Oh, the other one that I'm forgetting is Hawkeye, the Hawkeye series. I finally it dawned on me now. But yeah. But both these characters are gonna be nice. I think Miss Marvel's gonna be a. I didn't honestly read much reading about the Ms. Marvel character. Like I just it wasn't something I had ever done reading about. Like I know there's a lot of people that like her character. I've never done much reading on her. I'm more of the classic, your Captain America, your Spider Man, all that kind of stuff. Not these new characters that they have had recently come out. Then you've also got She-Hulk. I think She-Hulk, if I'm having to rank all three of the shows that came out or was announced this week, I definitely have to say Moon Knight top of the list. Okay, then you have She-Hulk. Then you have me at Ms. Marvel. Like I don't really know which one I currently would like more. Like Ms. Marvel, she's basically she has the power set basically of pretty much Mr. Fantastic. That's just about it as far as I know. Like I had just once again haven't done much reading on her. I'm trying to remember her name, but like I know it. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah. I'm just saying that ultimately, I think that it could have been done. Like these characters are nice, but weren't the ones I was like I'm thankful for them. Like it's more content, but none of these characters I found necessary right now. Like we had a lot of good shows, and I think what they need to do is I think they're trying to end Phase Three with some of these characters, like or get them moving in their new direction, and they're trying to kick off Phase Four right now. It's what it's feeling like. I think right now 2020 is just gotta be plot setup for Phase Four ultimately, because at the ending of Phase Three, even though we say Spider-Man is the end of Phase Three, it's ultimately not. I think more Black Widow will be the end of that. But even if it isn't, then honestly, um, even if Spider-Man is the end, that's one heck of an end for it. Like I'm not gonna lie, like Spider-Man Far From Home, I thoroughly enjoyed. Like I really enjoyed it. That's once again one of the reasons I'm so sad to see what's going on with Disney and Sony right now. But yeah, we're trying to leave that. But I definitely am excited for um Moon Knight. I just once again She Hulk I know a little bit about more than Miss Marvel, but ultimately I think that those characters are gonna do good. It's gonna be interesting. I know that the Miss Marvel character, I believe, is Muslim. Like, I know they're trying to make the MCU more diverse, and I think that's a good idea. Like, I think they're trying to make it where they have new characters that they're adding in on top of the ones they already have. And once again, just trying to set up Phase 4 or Phase 5 here, because it's going to just take time to develop into this new phase of the MCU, because everything that, once again, that had been done in the last 10, 11 years has been for they or the Infinity Saga ultimately. Like everything that's happened ultimately has been for the Infinity Saga. They are starting to now just have to build up this new area or this new thing for Phase 4. So it's going to be really nice to see what they have planned. I know Feige is a really great guy when it comes to comics and has done a really good job with the MCU so far. Like, I have lots of faith in Feige and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on what's going on with the MCU right now. Spider-Man, the new series that are coming out on Disney Plus. Honestly, right now, I'll give you all a quick ranking of all the Disney Plus shows currently that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. I definitely have to say on top um, is probably Winter Soldier and Bucky right now with Zemo, with like Falcon getting the shield. I love the Winter Soldier character. Um, yeah, I love that one. WandaVision is next because I love. I believe I've been hearing like there's a new poster. I haven't seen it yet. I'm about to go look at it probably right after this video. But like honestly, it's sounding really good right now. I can't wait for that. Um, next up, I'd have to definitely say I'm gonna say What If, just because I love What If comics. I'm a huge What If comic fan, and not to mention after all the things that happened in Endgame, there's a lot of what ifs that you have to really go through. Because like you're telling me that no one could have used the stones to save Tony Stark's life? No one? That's not true. Something must have been wrong. And if they would save Tony's life, something would have happened. Okay? So ultimately, that's the only reason you can really say that that didn't happen in Endgame. But honestly, I can't wait for that. But what if it's gotta be next? Then currently, I'll put Moon Knight on there. I'll put Moon Knight next, then Loki right after that. You can flip flop them. Uh, it's gonna be interesting once again to see Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is gonna be next, and we got She-Hulk, and then right after that we have currently at the bottom Miss Marvel, just because I don't know about the character that much. I've never done much reading on her, so ultimately that's probably why she's at the bottom. Maybe she's a better character than I'm making her out sounding to be. I just haven't done a lot of reading about her. And so ultimately, right now, you will. I don't know much about her. So maybe given time, maybe my view on that will change. Like I think she's gonna be good. I think I don't know enough about the character yet to really have a good opinion on whether I'm really excited for this character or not. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, drop that like, subscribe if you are new. Drop us a follow on Primetime Cupcake Twitch for more gaming videos, and yeah, or for more gaming. But yeah, we do gaming on the channel. But until next time, peace.